We've talked about the ox, we've talked about focus, and how strength is released when you break distraction. But now we go even deeper because you need to know something. God's glory doesn't just rest on worship, it rests on work. That may surprise you, but it's true. You don't just carry God's presence when you're on your knees, you carry it when your hands are on the plow. The ox teaches us that work can be worship, and more than that, work can carry glory. Let me take you to a picture from the Old Testament that's rich with revelation. In 1 Kings 7, when Solomon built the temple, there was a giant basin of water called the sea. It was symbolic of cleansing and presence. And what did it rest on? 12 oxen. 3 facing north, 3 south, 3 east, 3 west. Holding up the basin, the water, the reflection, the cleansing, all of it sat on the backs of oxen. The glory of God rested on strength. The weight of his presence was carried by the image of servanthood. That's a picture of you. When you say yes to God's call, not just in a moment of worship, but in the daily rhythm of obedience, your life becomes a resting place for the weight of heaven. Work is not secular, it's sacred. There's been a lie in the church for too long that only what happens in the pulpit is spiritual and what happens in the workplace is just ordinary. But hear me clearly. Your ministry doesn't start when you get a mic. It starts when you pick up your assignment. If God assigned it, it's sacred. If God asked for it, it carries glory. When you show up with excellence, when you labor with integrity, when you give your best in that classroom, that business, that hospital, that home, you're not just working, you're hosting God. The ox doesn't need a spotlight to be powerful. It just needs a field. And every field you enter is an opportunity to carry his presence. The anointing for work. Some of you have never asked for it, but you should. There is an anointing for work. Yes, there's an anointing to preach, to heal, to prophesy, but there's also an anointing to show up, to build, to organize, to lead, to manage, to do the work with heaven's help. When God filled Bezalel and Oholiab in Exodus 31, it says he gave them the Spirit, not to preach, but to create, build, shape, and design the tabernacle. That's ox power, that's skill. That's divine empowerment in everyday tasks. Don't just work for God, work with God. Here's the key. The ox doesn't just work for a master. It works yoked to the master. And Jesus said, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. That means when you're walking with him, really yoked to his will, really flowing in your assignment, even the hard work becomes holy. It's no longer just labor. It's partnership. And here's the beautiful part. When you do ordinary things in obedience to God, they release extraordinary presence. Your work becomes a carrier of glory. Your consistency becomes a place of encounter. Closing thought, carry it well. So let me ask you, what has God placed in your hands right now? Is it heavy? Is it hidden? Is it hard? Then you're in the perfect position to host his glory. Because the ox isn't scared of weight, the ox was made to carry it. You don't need a platform to carry the presence. You just need a plow and a yes. Keep showing up. Keep serving. Keep plowing. Because the Lord doesn't just dwell in your worship. He walks with you in your work. Let's go further.